What happened? Why did everything just go to shit once I started talking?
The program you are about to hear is largely fiction.
The Rug. Welcome to Under the Rug, a behind-the-scenes podcast about comedy in Web3. Featuring the somewhat attractive and mostly pseudonymous staff of The Rug, where we take money seriously.
Bye, Frank.
Did it happen again? I can only fix so much in post, guys.
Do you have the first recording where we tried it the first time?
Yeah, I still have that. So it'll just be this episode will just be a bunch of failed attempts to start the episode.
Let's just do like 3 more fails where we randomly log off and
Fuck. Yeah, that would play. It would be on brand, wouldn't it?
I suck at all of this. I switched browsers. Take 3?
Take 3.
Take 3.
All right, take 3. And if I shit the bed again, I'll join by phone and just continue without me. Let's try it. Do that countdown.
Oh, yeah. We're still recording. I haven't stopped.
We're on? Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to the 5th episode of Under the Rug, behind the scenes podcast. You get to chop peanuts with the heads behind the headlines, hardest hitting headlines in Web3. The Rug. Find us on Twitter at The Rug News. We got 6 heads in the house today. We'll do a quick introduction. On my right, we have the lovely designer, Cute. How's it going today, Cute?
Hey, I'm good.
All right, cool. And then one of our fan favorite writers, Perchy. Welcome. How are you doing?
GM.
All right. We got a good morning. Classic co-host also in the house today, Liquidiate. You got anything clever to say?
Sorry, what up? I'm just waiting for your signal to drop. Sorry.
You had time to think about it. Nothing clever? All right. Another rug writer in the house, Sponge. Say what's up, brother.
Hey, y'all.
All right. Well, I've made it this far. Maybe I won't drop this time. Also, last but certainly not least, Zero Mass. Welcome.
present.
Okay. All in the house. And this time we got kind of an agenda. So first little section here is just what's good. So just what we usually do. Let's just chop it up. Anything going on lately? Anybody want to comment on merge stuff? Whatever. Open forum for 10 minutes and then we'll do some housekeeping and talk about all the updates we've been doing here at the Rug. Popcorn, somebody. Jump.
Well, we had a short discussion on merge parties. I know there's a Bankless one. What else is out there?
Who's really partying at like 6 a.m. Eastern time? Unless you're up from the night before. How's that?
Oh, is that when it's supposed to happen?
Or like early, like 7 or 8.
Wait, Perchy, you said it was in our evening.
So right now it's showing me the time is 3 hours from now tomorrow. So that'll be around 9 p.m. for us over here.
Oh, excellent. I guess it was always a guesstimate.
Yeah, because it's based on the blocks, so you never know. Could be different by the time we get there. But as we get closer, it should be getting closer and closer to an accurate
It's based on the blocks, guys.
Yeah, based on the blocks. Someone want to unpack that?
No, I thought that was just funny in itself. Like my Legos.
Based on the blocks.
My Legos. Based on the blocks, man.
So everybody's just going to get wasted and then wait for the timer and then kiss a stranger when it gets to 0 or the block.
Wrong
That's the
party.
block thing. Oh.
It's not Ethereum New Year.
Could be. Could be.
Do the blocks continue, or is it like, does it go back to like block 1? That'd be kind of cool if they like reset the whole thing.
I ran my Y2K software.
This was just the practice Ethereum, and then everyone's accounts go back to 0, and then you start the real Ethereum tomorrow.
Oh, what if we just got Ethereum Houdini'd?
How horrible would that be?
Just Houdini'd.
Isn't there a bunch of rogue miners who are going to try to carry on old Ethereum?
Oh, that's a fun topic. Yeah. They've said they're gonna.
I think it's just a couple of big players, though, right? It's just got to be somebody with a
Isn't it
building
like-
and a bunch of computers.
Yeah, isn't it like Justin Sun's pushing it, and like I know like Polonius or something's going to back the old token.
Is anyone planning on trying to claim their PoW ETH and selling it, or doing something else with it?
I mean, if it's as easy as it has been in the past for all the other forks, yeah. But like, I don't know. I got kind of fucking spooked when on Bankless they were saying all those bots. Everybody's gonna be trying to do that, So I'm gonna have to like wait a week until gas prices die down, and then maybe it might be worth $1. I don't know. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking is gonna happen.
I want to
Yeah,
go
like, how
back to
do you
this
get ahead of that?
rogue miner term. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No apologies. Just keep talking. It's all good.
The rogue miner thing, I picture like a bunch of people are like chartering a boat and they're just going to be on the open seas with the Starlink just out there wreaking havoc, sailing around with their proof of work chain.
I was thinking somebody mining. They're mining and they find what they're looking for. Maybe or this guy's just like his job is to mine, and they shut the mine down. But he's like, no, this is all I know, and he's just got to keep going back. He's like the only one left inside the mine, just mining at the wall.
Just like Wilson.
Wilson! What are we gonna do now? Wilson! Wilson! My name is Voight, dumbass.
It's just Castaway.
We're passing it down to like his children. Like we're miners. This is what we've always done. We mine Ethereum. That's what we do.
I don't care what the world says.
This is all
this
we
is what
know.
we do.
This is all we know.
I don't care if everybody's moved on.
No one wants those energy bills, though. It's going to be like that guy that was dragging his PC to Starbucks in that satirical video.
Oh, that was good. Oh yeah,
I saw that.
But they're losing money. He's like mortgaging his house to pay the energy bills just so he can keep like the miners going.
In my day, we walked uphill both ways to the mine.
I think we've got a new character here for a future.
What's his name?
I'm terrible with names.
The miner. It writes itself.
That miner that won't let go. No.
What's the character from Incredibles? The Underminer.
Behold the Underminer! I am always beneath you, but nothing is beneath me!
Miner@hotmail.com.
Desktop miner.
Stop miner.
GPUs forever.
I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna wait for the smoke to clear. I'm not doing any proof of work stuff. Not even worrying about it. I'm boring.
Yeah, same.
I don't even know how to do it. Yeah, will our wallets connect to the old network once they move over? I'm clueless on this.
Yeah, good question. I think there's probably some slightly technical stuff that you'll probably have to do. Yeah.
You mean to sell it? If you want to sell the PoW.
Yeah.
If you're just chilling, you can just chill. Everything else.
What happens to my steak teeth?
Disappears,
Nothing.
right? Oh man, trying to get her.
You should probably send it over to someone else in the room. Steward it.
On the ETH proof of work chain, so somebody that's trying to get as much ETH proof of work to sell, you wouldn't be able to get it ever. So it's going to be a separate chain, just like ETH Classic is. Like if you want to use ETH Classic, you have to get an ETH Classic wallet, or input the RPC and the network info into MetaMask or something like that. But yeah, it would be the same thing. So, but the thing with the staked ETH, the only problem is going to be on the ETH proof of work chain. The staked ETH on the ETH2 chain, it'll be fine. You just won't be able to ever redeem it on the ETH proof of work chain. That's why some people were trying to trade their unstaked or their staked ETH, so they had as much ETH as possible, so that when the fork happens, they already have ETH. In, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to not unstake it or whatever.
Right.
If that made sense.
Yeah, I think so. I'm probably just going to wait until Perchy says I have to do something with it. It's generally what happens.
Yeah, that's what I normally do too. That's a good idea.
I just wait for him to tell me to.
Let's all wait for Perchy to do something, and then we'll go down with that burning ship.
Yeah. Liquidia, why don't you take us through a little rug housekeeping? What's new? What's not? What's shining? What ain't?
I have no idea what you just said. You're going to have to say that again.
Talk to people about some of the updates that have happened in the last month for the rug.
Oh, the updates. Yeah. We be updating. Lots of stuff happening. let me stall as I try to get these browser tabs open to tell you what we've been updating.
Minute by minute. It's not like you have
How's
to
my
do a
driving?
soliloquy too. You can like ask us people to talk about the stuff.
Yeah.
How's my
Tell me
driving?
about your experience. How am I doing? No. So behind the scenes, we've been integrating with Dework. We've been merging with Dework to get some work done, some decentralized work, moving tabs around and cards and doing all
is that
sorts
what
of
it
fun
stands
stuff there.
for?
What?
Dework is decentralized?
That's what I'm guessing. Does that
that was
fit?
Decentralized work?
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's super on the nose. They really nailed it.
So stuff's hopping behind the scenes, and that has resulted in a bunch of new content distribution avenues for us. Still opening these tabs. We have a newsletter on paragraph.xyz. It's go ahead.
No, I'll talk about the newsletter while you get your tabs open. So
Okay, yeah. Hand it over to the newsletter crew, Frank America.
well, it's on Paragraph, and it's a new Web3 product, and it's cool. You can sign up with your wallet or your email address, and we're going to ship twice a month. We've sent one already, and we went into their Discord. There's like 70 people there, and we're chatting and posting bug reports with the owner of the Discord and the owner of the brand. And then it's all open source software though, so anyone can use it, and it's all on GitHub. So we're like, hey, this embed doesn't work, and they're passing that to developers that are picking up those tickets on GitHub, and it's pretty cool. And we're just growing. I mean, I think we picked up like 100 subs or so in the first week or two that we launched, and we're going to use it as kind of a roll up of all the rug activity that we do. And I'm getting it going, but it's going to be Perchy and I had this idea to sort of open with this. You want to talk about it, Perch? It's like, like create an editorial voice, and you've been editing with me. So if you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah. The newsletter is going to be kind of this good spot to get all of the content from that, depending on how long, what intervals we're releasing it, maybe every 2 weeks or so, or every week you get just all the content from that time period. And maybe some like editorial curation of that, as well as some a little bit of fresh content. We're kind of working out this character that's the one that's delivering the newsletter, writing the newsletter. But
It's still
exciting.
working out the kinks of the
sure.
voice, but it's this like kind of like opening monologue, like late night opening monologue idea, but just like in a couple paragraphs. And so if you're subscribed to that newsletter, you'll watch that voice grow, and hopefully it gets kind of congeals and gets funnier as more of us like work on that.
Is it the disgruntled Ethereum miner?
It could be. Certainly could be.
It could be. It would definitely write us into a corner pretty quickly, I think.
What's that? Yeah, we really paint ourselves, and he's just annoyed. Still annoyed. Third newsletter. It could be that Brantley.
Just bringing it up every day.
Maybe that miner can have his own column or in the newsletter. Just complains once every couple weeks.
I like that.
Yeah.
He could write in with the like, Dear Deirdre.
Yeah, we could totally do a dear something, or any of us could pick up a voice and kind of grab a few paragraphs and have a slot there. It's really just an open canvas, which is great.
Dear disgruntled miner, what's new with you? Proof of stake still sucks. I'm mining over here. What it is.
It's not really Ether unless you put a lot of work in.
No. Now he's getting like 10 times the amount of ETH proof of work that he ever got before, but it's only worth like a fraction of what it was. He might be making 1,000 more ETH every month, but it's only $1 for all of it.
And he just holds the mantra: 1 ETH is 1 ETH. No. All right, so that's newsletter. What else you got?
Speaking of NFTs, even though we weren't really talking about NFTs, we are continuing to push out NFTs. We have Mirror, we have Rarible, we have Zora. But the hot ticket item is Mirror, because we are minting articles there every Friday. So be sure to go and collect those. And those are cheap. You can mint one with gas, all that kind of stuff included for like what, $3.50 USD? Is that what it turns out to be?
Well, in Ether, but yeah.
In Ether, yes. For right now, I don't know what actually the Ether amount is, but right now, cool 350 gets you an article on Mirror.
Has anyone like collected those or want to like talk about what that process was like? Like, did anyone have to like add Optimism to their wallet or something?
I added Optimism a while ago to collect the airdrop, and then collecting the NFT was super smooth.
I had Optimism in my wallet, but I didn't have anything over there, so I had to move some funds over so I could start collecting. But that was
What'd you use? Hop Exchange? You got to use a bridge, right?
Yes, I did use Hop. I hopped some stuff over because that's kind of the bridge I've been using for a while, and I'm just it works, so I'm using it. There's been no bridge hacks there so far, I guess. So fingers crossed. Put some ETH over there, like Perch is saying, super smooth. A couple clicks, and then you got that article preserved for all time in your wallet. That's been good.
Does anybody else think of Optimus Prime when people say optimism? No, just me. All right. Well,
no, I think OP, like the overpowered. The token's just OP.
Oh yeah,
out of control.
That too.
Yeah.
I was thinking they could partner with Amazon.
Yeah.
Optimism Prime. Never mind.
we can workshop that after the pod. We got some there. We also have covers. Occasionally we do special covers, and those are up on Rarible, which is pretty cool. And then also we have like some one-of-ones over on Zora. I didn't know if you wanted to speak to that, either of those, Frank. Cool. All right. So as you can tell, energy's high here at the Rug offices. You want to do this? No. Okay, here we are. No, but it's been great. And just to kind of talk about the Mirror articles again, it's been really great internally. All the writers are writing, firing off the funny. We put the articles to a vote. The winner gets to publish the article directly to Mirror, so a little bit of decentralization happening amongst the staff. And yeah, it's just been really fun to collect these, to mint these articles, to have a moment in time, a piece of the funny, very accessible, very easy to mint. So what are you waiting for? Head over to therug.mirror.xyz, mint yourself some articles, and while you're there, maybe hit that subscribe button to get notified when we put out more articles. And so what else have we been up to?
Instagram,
yes. Sorry, forgot about that.
Let's talk about that. Cute. Talk about that design.
Yes.
The template that you worked out. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's just a super visual way to display our articles and our tweets. I know Instagram isn't at the moment a very crypto, like a platform where people who are into crypto or Web3 gather, but we're early, so it's better to start building it now for when that time comes.
Well, Instagram has also enabled NFTs, have they not?
Mm-hmm.
They have their own like NFT thing going on, I think.
Yeah, I think you can like verify a profile picture.
Has anybody done anything with that?
I think you need like a premium account or something, or was that the blue account on Twitter? I forget. But I have not done it. I don't see a major incentive to link Web2 products to Web3 wallets, at least yet.
But it's owned by, like, Instagram's owned by Meta, right? So
yep.
I think that's the reason why they're trying to like get NFTs so they can like look at.
Which reminds me, I looked at our hot wallet the other day, and Meta sent us an NFT. They sent us the rugnews.meta. So and then I looked at that contract, and it went out to like 50,000 people or something. So they literally just combed the world of Ethereum addresses, ENS addresses, and airdropped everyone their own customized Meta.
I'm looking address. In my hidden tab on OpenSea right now.
See if you have one.
Yeah, I'll be sad if the Rug got one and I didn't.
Well, I don't know what the criterion was.
I don't know. That sounds kind of sus to me. Don't click on anything.
We didn't ask for it. We can burn it.
I wouldn't.
Hey, we can burn it. We can have a burn the Meta NFT party
Or
for all
the
I
meta
care.
NFT one, yeah.
I just saw it. But yeah, the Instagram thing is nice. We're also grabbing those designs and putting them out on Telegram. Telegram is a little bit more of like a social Web3 app, but I noticed that there's a lot of traction for content being forwarded around to groups. So every Friday when we put out an article on Mirror, we're grabbing that and pushing that out through Instagram and through Telegram,
Do we have
and
Lens?
just sort of watching. I think all of us personally have a lens, but we haven't done one for the rug yet. But I think I mentioned that in our last meeting. The founder of Lens Protocol followed the rug like a few days ago, which I thought was pretty cool. What's his name again?
Oh yeah, Stani.
Stani.
I saw that.
Yeah. And then he GM'd us. And so I was like, wrote GM back and then crickets. So I don't know.
That's it. I think we've made it.
Yeah, those are the usual the GM
That's it.
interactions. GM, crickets.
GM was like, okay, good talk.
That's all you need, really. It's just like a nod when you're walking past somebody on the street and you know they're one of you. You just do the nod and they nod and then you just keep walking.
Yeah. Tip of the hat.
Yeah.
And speaking of Twitter, just going to roll through some of the content. I was thinking, well, we'd talk maybe of first get you to drop in. We had the last article that went out on Mirror. Perch, you sort of championed that one. Super funny. This Ethereum investor will vaguely explain the merge to you. I was wondering if you could give us a few sentences around what that character was about and how you came up with it.
Yeah, sure. It's a character who is invested in Ethereum, perhaps even passionate about Ethereum, but doesn't really understand it on a technical level very much at all. And so this character is sort of like an amalgamation of me in some cases, and conversations I've had in the past where once like I'm trying to explain some kind of crypto concept to somebody and I get like halfway through it and I realize like I don't really know what I'm talking about. I just sort of have this very like surface level understanding of it.
It gives me this idea of a funny chart, which is like when you start talking, like confidence level is high. Like me explaining crypto, like starts out confidence level high, and then like the more you talk, the more we realize we don't have no idea what we're talking about. It just plummets into like nebulous generalisms.
I'll get back to you on how the merge works.
Right?
Yeah, I actually had a moment like last week. I was trying to. Someone was asking me about like regen finance and like how it was different from, like charity and like what is the thing that Web3 brings to it, like with quadratic funding.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. No, Will Robinson. Danger.
I got as far as like saying quadratic fund. Well, with quadratic funding, and then I was like, oh shit, like what is quadratic?
You've
funding?
said it.
How does that
you can't walk
work?
that phrase back.
Yeah. And so, and the worst thing is like the person who's listening to me she was like so invested, like yeah, like okay, like she was really encouraging me to have a good explanation, and just that made the crashing and burning like even worse because just like the investment in that. But I eventually was like I don't really know what I'm talking about. I aborted.
Yeah, and it just kind of it spirals. But I think that's a point of Web3 for all of us is like none of us really know. I mean, even like some of these people that are leading thought leaders aren't under the hood, don't know how the carburetor works, but explain things well. Another one of those tweets that sort of touches on that about like just not understanding things. I forget who wrote it. It might have been Redemption Fox, but it was Michael Saylor. He got sued by the government, and so I think he pitched this tweet that there's this picture of Michael Saylor, and he's just like super resolute, and he's like, Bitcoin fixes this. And it's kind of emblematic of this idea where, and I think we can all be, definitely I can be like utopic about crypto, which is like, oh, vast implications and like all the things it can do. And then at the end of the day, it's just like, all right, I've got my pictures and I can log in to this thing, and I collected a few coins. It's fairly nascent in terms of application. Let's see.
The solution for Bitcoin's problems is always more Bitcoin.
Yeah, well, that's worth a sidebar. Anybody want to weigh in on this? Is Bitcoin a massive Ponzi scheme that always requires more people to buy into Bitcoin for it to matter? Or is it some new kind of digital gold that is going to trump fiat over the next decade to two, or somewhere in between? Does anyone have like a Bitcoin thesis?
Can it be both things?
Maybe. Give me a little more. How do you see it? Like, how do you see Bitcoin?
Well,
Danger!
yeah, I'm going to abort because
I learned this awesome technique. It's called abort. Abort.
I think you're onto something. I think it sort of is both at the same time. Like it's a Ponzi scheme if it fails, but if it succeeds, then it's like the most amazing thing ever. And I think both are possible. Just like the one thing that is amazing about Bitcoin is the fact that it's a true scarce asset. Like the first time in human history that we've got an asset that we have a very limited amount of, that we know exactly how much there is. Like that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think of it as the proof case that digital currency was possible. And then I tell people it's the dinosaur now, though. And Ethereum is
more about that.
Where is happening, yeah.
Like
It's
dinos
insecure.
aren't cool, or it's huge like a T-Rex and it's going to eat everybody.
It's old. It's like it doesn't have nearly the functionality of Ethereum. It's the dinosaur of crypto world now. That's what I tell people.
It'll be cool again in like 10 years. It'll be like the 80s. It'll just wear
like throwback
cool sunglasses and we'll be good to go. Yeah.
Torn jeans.
The way I think about Bitcoin is like, if it's supposed to be digital gold, people don't want to spend their gold. They like to hold it, but the security is based on people spending it, so it's kind of like it's fighting its own headwind. People have to spend it to secure it, but people don't want to spend it because it's gold and it's a store of value. You know what I mean?
Why do they have to spend it to secure it?
It's because the transaction, you have to
Danger!
abort. No.
Exactly. Eject. I mean, the settlement layer is secure. I know as much as the next person on the corner that just read about Bitcoin. So
people pay for
limited
block
understanding
space with the transaction fees. If people aren't transacting, that means the fees are going to be low, and it doesn't take a lot of money to take over the network.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's right, Sponge. And just to add to that, though, that's not the only way that they secure the network, because issuance right now is, I think, larger than the fees, or
right.
like what the mining reward.
And
I
that's
guess
that's
not
what
issuance.
halves every 4 years ish, right?
That's what halves, and that's what eventually, like what Sponge is saying, is a problem, because after enough halvings, the reward will be too small, and it'll have to be secured by fees.
Right.
And the Bitcoiner answer is that, like, by that time, Bitcoin's going to be worth infinity
but here's
money.
where I jump in again, because like you said earlier, Ponzi scheme. It's not a Ponzi scheme, right? They're Ponzi-nomics or whatever. Ponzi isn't a bad word in itself. Yeah, something like that. It's like just more, like everything is a Ponzi. Like even a startup business is a Ponzi. You want more people to come in and buy your stuff, so that you get bigger.
For sure.
But like the idea that Bitcoin would be secured by the price of Bitcoin would be like Bitcoin. If you did the math, it would. I don't have the math here written down, but if you did the math, it would be worth more than everything on the planet, like combined or something like that, in order to have the type of security that it would need, which is, just kind of ridiculous. Nobody thinks it'll be worth, $1 billion of Bitcoin.
Michael Saylor does.
I don't know about that.
I don't know if he goes that high.
Worth more than everything on the planet.
I think a fair argument for Bitcoin is, hey, in largely inflationary economies like, El Salvador or Nigeria or, Turkey went through it. you can secure your asset in a relatively stable, relatively countermeasure that's not nation-based and can't be inflated to protect some sort of runaway currency. And does it do it as well as Ethereum? Maybe not. And the Bitcoiner stance is really that Ethereum, is still sort of in this altcoin world, and the only thing that is like largely deemed as not a security, et cetera, is like Bitcoin, and therefore it has some sort of like political assurances, and thus it has a better chance of becoming gold. And if it's gold, you want to hold it. Now, I don't know if that's the case, but that's the argument that I think they would trot out for it. But hey,
Are you saying this is not financial advice, Frank?
I'm saying it's not money laundering if you get caught.
I'm just waiting to circle back to ask Zero Mass which dinosaur Bitcoin is. Like,
that is
It's definitely a Stegosaurus. It has lots of spikes.
Great question.
I don't know why. That's just what I pictured. Abort.
Abort.
It's a good. No, I like it. It's very defensive. It's very like, Bitcoin's all about like defense. I feel like. Here's a question. We're on the eve of the merge right now.
Nice segue. I love it.
I like it.
Yeah. Sure. Is Bitcoin the most secure crypto as of this moment? I think it is.
I don't know. Solana's got that second hard drive, so I don't know.
Solana has 2 hard drives, and they run most days. They're like banks. They're open 5 days a week, and I think secure. Bitcoin's absolute. That's pretty secure. Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Come on, get that. Saturdays till noon.
So after Solana,
Bitcoin is the most secure, indubitably.
I don't know, man. I feel like these guys wouldn't risk all their money. It's got to be a sure.
Whose guys?
The Ethereum guys. They got a lot of money invested in this.
Okay, I don't disagree.
I hear Tornado Cash is collateralized with prisoners now.
Oh, that reminds me that I forget what tweet it was, but it was. I think you wrote this, Sponge. Yep. Tornado Cash usage soars as core devs. They just are teaching everyone how to use it.
Yeah, dude. If they start imprisoning all these people that know how to launder money, all the criminals are going to learn how to launder money. Obviously.
I know. It's like you go in with a master's degree and you come out with a PhD. It's like. They're going to send the one guy that knows how to
come out a drug lord.
Yeah. It's like, what was that? Johnny Depp and Blowy went in with a master's degree in weed and left with a PhD in coke.
All right, I guess we got to open our books. Let's learn some criminal shit too. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. What about half the time I teach you about this George Washington character? The other half, I'll teach us how to smuggle drugs.
You don't know dick about smuggling no drugs.
Oh, no? I was arrested in Chicago with 660 pounds of grass. I think that qualifies me.
But what do you think about that? So this Tornado Cash guy, like, there's some serious stuff going on. There's all this sort of free this developer stuff is happening. I know that, what is the policy agency out of DC? They got Coin Center. They got pretty involved in like helping draft legal arguments for why it's unconstitutional. Do you guys think that this kind of stuff is like everyone turning their Twitter, this is my question, does everyone turning their Twitter icon profile to a picture do anything? Or is this mass virtue signaling with no tailwinds?
That's how we stopped the Ukraine war.
That's what I thought.
Everyone doing that confuses the shit out of me because I don't know who I'm talking to anymore.
I was wondering what drove their counteroffensive. It was our pictures on Twitter.
They sold Bitcoin for guns.
Totally. So yeah, I mean, I wonder about that. Like, I think it's a travesty that this person, was like pinned on something that was only supposed to.
All right, you got to say Ross Albright and Virgil Griffith too, so people can Google those as well. If anybody listens to this.
And that's the free Ross. What was the joke that we had on free Ross? Ross bakes a cake with.
No, that's it. That's the joke. Just bakes a cake.
Just bakes a cake, or no, with keys inside. With private keys inside. Or so.
Just bakes a cake, I think.
Sorry, don't say it. Just bakes a cake.
You know the rest.
That's great. Well, what do you think about happiness in a bear market? So, like, we wrote this tweet about depressed crypto people should migrate to Optimism. Like, yeah, it was tongue in cheek, but like, do you think like are people taking it pretty seriously? Like this kind of like bear market? Or is there a lot of first cyclers? What kind of effect does this have on like emotional health? Other than
I think
this sucks. Like,
people that are still reading, like anybody that's still here, not in the void of crypto Twitter right now, if they're still reading it, they got to be vibing with us, right? They got to feel the pain and yeah, what do you call it? Relate. They relate.
for sure.
I think it just depends on like point of view, like how much.
Yeah, it's your perspective, right?
Yeah. How deep you're in it, how much you invested, how much you lost or losing, like how caught up were you in Terra Luna stuff or whatever. So, and there's a lot involved, I guess.
I think and that kind of makes an argument for back to the Bitcoin basics, which is like the further you venture out on the crypto tree, the thinner the branch gets. Next thing you know, you're on Terra, like minting all your UST, thinking you're a millionaire, and then it's gone. And like that doesn't happen to Bitcoin. So there's some assurances there, or at least it hasn't happened. One of the other articles that we wrote was this arrested developer delays new season of hit TV show. And I wrote it as about like this tornado hits Los Angeles. And the whole frame up for it was really just like, okay, Tornado Cash is this open source protocol that allows for privacy. Privacy is presumably like some sort of fundamental right, but it's being sanctioned, and it's the first time that smart contracts themselves were sanctioned as opposed to individual users of them. And so sometimes I come across a little highbrow. Liquidian and I were talking about this. I'm highbrow. He's, what'd you call it, Liquid?
Bottom rung?
Bottom rung, which is usually funnier.
Slumming it down here.
Deputo did this graphic a la Arrested Development. And like, anyway, the whole ethos of this piece was like, they have to sue the insurance company for this tornado that hit. And it looks like Coinbase is backing 6 different lawsuits that are going to sort of attack this thing. So hopefully our little piece of entertainment, we were right out there in front of it. That we wrote that, got that out before it actually turned into lawsuits. So that was fun. And eject.
It's abort, not eject. You're ruining it. Oh my God.
Danger.
No, it feels like danger. It feels like, I don't know. Does this feel like a government when they never do this, like just like not understanding something and then just trying to stop it while they figure out what's going on?
Let's just throw some regulation at it and see what what sticks.
Yeah. We don't know what this is. They're having fun over here. They're doing something that we don't like. We don't understand it. So let's just try to shut it down. Because this is unprecedented, right? This is something like this. It's usually against like individuals or countries or whatever, not lines of code or speech, as it were. Abort. I'm just.
Do you think that code is speech?
Yeah.
I think
it's worse a language, isn't it?
The most interesting thing.
If you have to go out and learn another language and then type in it, it's speech.
It's a form of speech. Vitalik likened code to speech in his white paper for Ethereum back in 2017 or whatever it was, which I thought was fascinating.
Well, to play devil's advocate here, code, you can execute it, and then the code does something. Is that not an action that it's then doing?
Yeah, but you could read like a really romantic poem and get a reaction from someone.
Ooh.
I think the context really matters, because it wasn't Tornado Cash sanctioned because North Korea was using it a lot, and that's why the U.S. sanctioned it.
Totally.
So yeah, and I think so the context matters. So if you're hired to write a piece of code that is going to hack people's wallets, then I think you're culpable. Like, you're paid for it. But if you're writing open source software, you're not being paid for it. There's not a specific like malintent to it. Then and it gets used then for something bad. Yeah.
No, context is key. My question with the person that writes the code that hacks people's wallets is, sure, blame the person, but if the code is on GitHub, like, is the code? Can you ban wallet hacking code? You know what I mean? Or do you just need to know that it exists and figure out how to develop security around it so that there's greater information and greater resilience? And in other words, like, do we limit novelty or do we expand novelty through code?
Also, there's a difference between writing a code and hacking a guy's wallet.
Sure. Because if that's the execution, then you could also just put it on whoever did the gas transaction to fire up the smart contract, as opposed to the smart contract itself. Eject.
You did it wrong. This whole time I've been thinking of like this
Dude,
limited
I don't
video
do things
series
the
we could
right
do.
way.
Yeah.
You have to know this about me. I don't do things the right way. I called it, what did I call it? ETH. I called it ETH. I still call it ETH.
Yeah.
I'm an
well,
oddball.
that's yeah.
I thought you were doing that on
too.
purpose.
It is
for
purpose.
a long time.
It's on purpose. I'm saying ETH. I know it's dumb, but I'm not going to change the way I like to say it just because everyone thinks I'm dumb for saying it.
It's like here, everyone still says the green lights are blue because they used to be kind of blue. And so we'll be sitting at a stoplight and then somebody will say, hey, it's blue, go. And I'm like, no, it's not blue, it's green. And then they're like, well, just go because you're holding up traffic. That whole thing.
Wait, so they were like what, blue and red in Japan?
Well, they were more bluish, I think, to start from what I heard.
Yeah.
So it carried over. So everyone still calls it blue, even though it's obviously green, at least in my
I think
opinion.
it's just old lights. I feel like I've seen blue street light. Never mind.
Yeah, but it's changed. It's green now. Just call it green. Why are we still saying blue? This is dumb. It's like
Look,
you're
I call it
lying
ETH.
to my face.
I call it ETH. You call it ETH. Does a rose by any other name not smell as sweet? All right, that's my 2 cents. You guys want to chop it up more? I think that's probably most of it. Any other like housekeeping stuff, or people have any other subjects we think we should get into?
I think you're right. These peanuts look chopped.
No, I want to match dinosaurs to cryptocurrencies still. I just want to know what you think Ethereum would be.
Oh, are we going with a visual? Are you having some ideas here?
Yeah, just curious.
What's that really slow one that looks kind of like a turtle with a big bowling ball on its tail? Ankylosaurus?
Hey, this is always our last section anyway, is write a joke. You know, if Bitcoin is Stegosaurus, Ethereum is what?
That's we just put that up as a poll or an open-ended question and let the Twitterverse.
Oh,
yeah.
Ethereum is an asteroid.
We can write a guide to dinosaur crypto.
All right, well, someone's got to check my copy. Let's put it in staff.
I was just going to say you're anticipating that people got this far after the 3 failed intros.
They're not going to hear those.
I'll edit that into something interesting, hopefully. Yeah, we'll do it.
Which dinosaur is really bad at podcast intros?
All right, here's another question. Do you think that Ethereum people are more preoccupied with what Bitcoin is doing in the Bitcoin community, or is the Bitcoin community more preoccupied with what's going on in Ethereum?
The latter.
No, I think the former.
Yeah, the Bitcoin people seem kind of nutty to me. Latter.
Eject.
If Bitcoin is a Stegosaurus, Ethereum. Do you want to explain why Stegosaurus? Ethereum is what?
Because what was the thing? Because it's spiky. Its back looks like the market crab. I don't know.
I'd say a velociraptor for me.
Ethereum, really?
Ethereum.
Agile.
Because it's like transitioning into a bird, right? Like proof of stake is the bird.
Wouldn't it be a T-Rex?
And Ethereum is like
T-Rex turns into a chicken.
What came first?
Dude, no, holy crap. This is not my joke. For anybody that actually listens, please, this is somebody else.
No, you can take credit for it. That's good. Yeah.
All right. I ordered a chicken and an egg on Amazon. I'll let you know. Yeah.
Nice.
Hey.
Nice.
You really want to tweet this? If Bitcoin is a Stegosaurus because it's spiky, Ethereum is what? And then turn it into a poll?
No, abort.
Abort? People we follow can reply to this poll. Let's just see what happens. This is so dumb.
We should create a separate account where we just post the dumbest things and see over time what does better. Like the main rug account where we try to be funny, or this other like dumb account where
like
we post
rug and
things like
rugger.
this.
We're just A/B testing over there and then bringing over the good stuff.
Yeah, but we have to do it totally secretly. Yeah, it can't can't be connected to the rug in any way.
So Liquidiate cut this bit out.
Yeah.
It's got to be like the altar rug or some sort of.
Yeah, you're saying it on the air here now.
Well, yeah, no one will know. Like we won't. It'll have some other name that won't have anything to do with the rug, so no one will know it's us. But
how about the gur or rug backwards?
The gur.
That is not a terrible idea. That's impressively plausible.
Is it a picture of like a half sleepy tiger or something?
Oh,
the gur.
It'll go well with dinosaurs.
We could create like this fake drama between the rug and the gur.
It's not called the gur.
They're like the up and comers. They're trying to like.
No, that's the first tweet.
And make
tweet.
The rug look. Make the rug. Yeah,
Perchy, we have
the rug will look great in comparison. We'll look like we're really put together.
Let's invent this thing called the gur, and let's tweet tonight about how opposed we are to it and how bad it is at like, I don't know, like it tweets the most inane things or something, and people are going to be like, "What's the gur?" And we'll just let it.
It keeps stealing our headlines.
Yeah, it can be an outlet for just our really like goofy and terrible and funny jokes like that.
But
can't
also,
go in the rug.
it just constantly makes fun of the rug with the "no, you're" line. So like Michael Saylor on being sued by the government, and the gur's like, "No, you're being sued by the government," and just pointing back at the rug.
So we're making a troll account to troll ourselves and give us more work.
It's beautiful.
This is very
so good.
Hyper meta.
It's the perfect crime.
I think even if we do it,
start like.
We don't have to take this out of the podcast. I think we can just say that we did it, and it's fine.
And then it just copies the newsletter and scribbles out with marker like the rug and writes in the gur. Just publishes it again.
That's kind of funny. And then resends it out.
They release their podcast a day after our podcast. It's just like
it's the same podcast with like music underneath it or something. You know what I mean? Like they just like slightly alter it.
To hide the identities, they just changed the first letters of all the names, so it's like Ink from America or something like that. It's beautiful. Let's do it.
Equity lit.
or maybe it's just like Bizarro World or like that episode of Seinfeld.
Jerry, George, Kramer. This is Kevin, Gene, and Feldman.
Nice to meet you. This is really weird.
Skunk. Let's put it in the skunk channel that we archive. Let's unarchive that skunk channel and let's do this, guys.
Totally unarchive the skunk channel. All right. Here's the outro. That brings us to the end of this string pulled along on this Under the Rug podcast, where we aim to give you a look behind the headlines and into the funny, where we will take money seriously. Crypto is risky, guys, and comedy is risky, but we're headed north, where it's cold and we might meet Santa Claus, and you'll probably need long johns and woolen socks and warm apple cider, because winter is coming, so prepare for the worst. And as always, thank you for listening. Put it up!
Yeah, it's really good.
That was a great outro.
Catch you guys next week. Hey, by the way, just open vibes. We're killing it right now.
Yeah. Future outro is just everybody starts like
I want to add this sentiment. We're killing it, and we're producing so much, and I'm really stoked, and I'm really excited to see where we fly this plane. So great talking to you guys. Until next time.
He brings it back around with the plane reference. Eject. Let's do it.
Self-destruct.
All right. Peace. Bye.
Later, everyone.
Eject.
No, Will Robinson. Danger.